So I just had a call just before my lunchtime, and it was actually from Knots, and it was regarding my job application. Did I apply for a graphic designer at Knots? I must have. So it must have been huh, like a month ago or so, or maybe about like weeks ago. I must have forgotten. So if that's the case, then it must have been a month or so ago. So wow. Well, at least I got a call, and from the manager over there at Knott's. And mind you, it's been a minute since I've worked at Knott's Berry Farm. I'm literally going back like well over a decade, and this was like way back in 2006 when I worked as a park services attendant. And so that was literally the last time I worked. I know a lot of things were different way back then. I remembered Robbie used to work at Knott's as well, and I would see him sometimes at the park because he used to be a ride operator, and I would see Anastasia there too. And I'm trying to remember if a boss worked there. Oh wait, no, not a boss. Bobby. I remembered Bobby. I think I've seen him one time. Can't remember, but I just remember seeing Robbie there. So it's good for Nas to like actually, call me back in regards to my application, just asking me, hey, just want to follow up. Can you, what is your typical day like? Why do you want to grow? Why do you want to work here and all that? So just basically reviewing. But the schedule though, although it is full time, it's basically, what do you call it? A graveyard shift, because it's 5 a.m. till 1:30 p.m. Now I'll be capable of working at any given time as long as I'm able to adjust, my sleeping hours and all that. 5 a.m. to 1:30. But I got to consider certain factors, and this is where I want to get into this topic in a little bit. 5 a.m. till 1:30, to me, I don't think it's that bad, and especially with my outside life, the way that it is right now. Like, if I was to start at 5 a.m. and then, and then come home like early afternoon, hey, well, I got plenty of rest. The only thing is I got to sleep like really early at night. And, I don't have to deal with so much as just happening like later in the evening and all that, considering the situation that I'm in. So I hope I can get a call back from them. So, that's not so bad news, because the minute that I got a voicemail and I was like, man, this is for, Jay. And I'm like, uh-oh, I hope it's not something bad. And good thing it was regarding one of my job applications. So it's nice to hear back from one of the companies, and it had to be Knott's Berry Farm of all other companies that I applied to. Now, mind you, it's been like, I have not really been as active on my job hunting. I mean, other than the past week where I applied, like on a Monday it was 4, and then Tuesday it was 5. And, it just so happens that like I haven't heard from many of the rest of them. Now, some, like I would check through some of the sites, and some are still not being reviewed. I'm talking about my applications. And for an application like this, where I totally forgot I applied to Knott's Berry Farm. So that's how long it's been. And with the job market the way it is now, it's telling me that I should just be patient then. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, I'll just never know. And I can keep on applying, and who knows, maybe another one will come back to me even after like a month or so. So I just thought I'd get that out there. But let's just get into this topic, where basically this kind of pain that I'm dealing with right now, yes, I'm going to say it with my chest. It's way worse than the chest issue that I had in 2019. It just sounds crazy. I know it was like a physical health issue that I had then. Yes, it was a nightmare that I had to deal with this entire month of August. I'll never forget that. That I had to take acupuncture, two visits. Cannot stand it anymore, but I'm glad that even that helped me through. Never gonna do that again though, But yeah, it was a kind of August that I'll never ever forget. And yes, I was still able to go out like watching Lion King and just going to the OC Fair, and still and going to the food festival and just doing a hike, still shooting hoops a couple times, doing my shooting rounds. So yeah, it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything, but I think that was the one thing I needed and I was able to solve my anxiety then. But that was for like a different cause, and obviously that was the chest issue that eventually I was able to overcome going to the next months and all. So as much of a nightmare that it was, like I remembered when it was my dad's birthday. I mean, it was starting to go really, really bad later in the afternoon. As much as I really enjoyed that day, it was one of the best days I had in that month of August 2019. Unfortunately, this chest issue just started to get worse and worse. Oh, I'll just never ever forget what a month I had. But so just looking at the situation now, yes, I'm healthy, even though I have this what it seems to be like a sinus kind of issue. But I want to tell you the reason why I feel like this is way worse. You want to know why? It has to do with something with more of my mental health. In 2019, that was for my physical health. Now it's mental. So why I say it's way worse? Because of what transpired these last few years, to the point that going into this year, and heck, even to an extent last year, it's almost as if like I'm finding myself just stuck, and even just mentally stuck. Like I can't find another path to get me out of where I'm at. And I'm sorry if I have to like even say this. I already made a bunch of videos on this. That it's it has been difficult for me in the sense that I'm trying to find the right path, because all I'm seeing is just a bunch of rocks out there that I just can't seem to cross. I'm not saying I can't, I've gone off trail before, but I mean it's a risk, and the only way I can do it is if like I said in last night's video, I gotta break away. Now all the festivities are done. What's next? What am I waiting for? This is just something that I've had to just endure. And it's even worse because even my friends know this, and I'm just filled with like just the past couple months, just pure anxiety. And although it's gone down to some extent, it is still lingering, in the sense that I just feel stuck, and and on top of that, I'm just mentally fatigued, So what I was able to overcome in 2019, that only lasted about like a good month. Okay. So, but that's a physical condition. That's a physical health issue that I dealt with. Here it's mental, and it's taking much longer than expected. Despite the help that I'm getting right now, it's gonna take a while. So you can tell right now, that's why I said this is way worse than what I dealt with in 2019, because this process is it just feels slower based on what I'm going through. But in time, I just know that I gotta have some patience, even though it's hard at this point to have any patience, knowing the two dilemmas I'm dealing with. I mean, my friends know, there's a lot of times where I'm just at my worst and saying things I don't mean. And it's gonna keep going to that extent, man. It's just, I can do all these exercises, like taking walks out here in this park right now that I'm in, my home park. And mind you, I was here a lot, eating my lunch during the times that I had my chest issue. So, it's just like I had so much relaxation that I was able to enjoy the outdoors. Like I feel like I was right in the open. Now, like, yeah, I'm in the open, but then I still have some blockage around me as far as like, just knowing I need to find my permanent happiness. And right now I can only have flashes of it. It's tough, man. It's tough to see where I'm at. And unfortunately, you know, like I said, I'm gonna say it to sound like a broken record, that this is the kind of life that I'm dealing with, in that I have no control over, my outside life situation. And you know, we're going to the bird season pretty soon. It's going to be September. Yes, I know. I it's more likely than not I may end up in my 13th year, but in this dump. But I just know I'm not gonna give up, right? And it just, like, how much longer am I gonna wait? Like, there's nothing else that's gonna be going on. It's back to reality again. And I mean, I can't keep hoping for any more of these kind of breaks that I'm having. I can't. I mean, why even waste my time still? The video that I made earlier this morning, that is not exclusive, that is not for here. It's I just know I have to do what I can. And if it's worth that much of a risk, then I got to do it. I mean, I really have no other choice. And if this is what it's going to take, then so be it. I don't know what other choice I have at this point. It's come down to that. I gotta, like, this is the same cycle I've been dealing with for the last few years, several years rather. So in this case, because it is a mental pain that I'm dealing with, it's like I'm in a trap, and this trap is gonna take a while for me to break out of, and I gotta take baby steps if I have to. I mean, this is, I am in this darkness still, that I just, it's to suppress my emotions at home just based on what I've been through. It's very hard, to be honest, but I feel like I'm doing a good job of just holding myself in. And at this point, I'm just really, really mentally fatigued. And I can only say this in the sense that I'm just I just need to really continue to believe in myself, and to fight myself out of this darkness, because things can only get worse and worse as long as I'm in these two dilemmas that I'm in. And it's very, very, very difficult. And like, it's when I get these short breaks where I'm able to relax and enjoy myself, I can think about good things. Like, I mean, I'll put up videos about my friendships with some of my female friends, or just friends in general, just talking about stuff. But when it's reality like this, I always end up having a lot to talk about. And it's mostly just a lot of drama. Like I mean, people can say negativity sells, but like, a lot of the topics that I've been bringing up is just mostly this, like, concerning my life, my work life, my home life, and just when I thought the whole chest issue thing is just like the worst, no, this is way worse. And the worst part about it is, it's going to take so many small steps, and like Nathan said, small victories. And I'm right at that point where It's, I mean, if you want to call it patience, but it's something I got to really work on. And I almost find myself being speechless just about what I'm about to say next, because even what I'm about to say is just it's just very, very tiring, and I'm getting really, really tired, dude, of just saying it. Like I've been saying about a new job that I need. I'm tired of saying all this. I'm too tired. And I haven't even talked to my coworkers yet about how I can just break away. I need to. But I'm just so much in this kind of mode that, you know, even my mind and my mindset just it's just totally out of it, dude. So yeah, man, it's just I this darkness that I'm in, it's causing me to feel like I'm just losing thoughts of just enjoyment, and that all I'm thinking about right now is just just getting my home life to be as stable as it could. Everything else just almost feels pushed away. Like like I just don't have the comfort zone right now, or just the relaxation to even enjoying myself, or to even talk about, if I'm gonna drop content talking about my friendships with, some of these other female friends. I actually do want to get to some of them, even ones that are no longer around. But I may talk about that sometime later today. Who knows what? But I just thought I'd touch on this because, the chest issue that I had, I'm able to overcome it, with some treatment. Here, the treatment that I'm trying to get it's much harder. It is much, much harder to just get by, and just just really, really, really trying. And right now, it's the progress is just too slow, and so I'm kind of running out of words to say here, because I'm finding myself just speechless. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. It's just you see, this is exactly the pain that I feel, and it just feels even worse than what my chest issue is. The only thing I needed to do when I had my chest issue was to enjoy the outdoors. Because when my anxiety was around, yes, I had the heart palpitations. That was scary. But at least I was able to find my enjoyment in the outdoors. So I was really in the open. Now, as healthy as I am, the pain that I'm feeling is more on the mental side. And that's even harder to overcome. I'm dead serious. I already had talks with some of my friends about this, like even Nathan. And now I feel like I really need to get deeper. So it's it's gonna be the biggest challenge yet for me, because like I said, the only way I can overcome is to just completely break away and find my own permanent space and a new job, to find myself right in the open again. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, dude. I'm just I need to talk to some people. Okay, peace out.